Welcome back to Rubbin Minds, and of course going straight into a topic that has received a lot of buzz on social media. There's been a lot of anticipation, considering it is one of the biggest media summits. They call it the Omni Summit, the Omni Media Summit. I'll talk to our founding partner to find out why that's big English. I don't just call it summit. It's 3 days away. It's the Red Summit, the Red Media Summit. You can check that www.theredmediasummit.org, and of course it's a lot of things to a lot of people. It's in partnership with Troika Holdings and of course the School of Media and Communication, and of course it's powered by Red Media Africa. I have the founding partner of Red Media Africa, or should I just say Red Africa? When I say Red Africa, it makes it sound a bit gruesome, but we have Adebola Williams. Great to have you. I can't remember when last you were on the set of Rubbin Minds.
I know.
I think it's an anniversary or something.
I walked in today, and I must commend Chairman, John Momo. He's an incredible visionary, and I'm seeing the new building, I'm seeing the expansion. I went somewhere I thought was a toilet. I just like the toilet. The toilet's so huge.
I don't know what you did in the toilet, but it's okay.
So I must first commend, the team, incredible team in Channels, as well as the chairman. They inspire us to do the things we do. People like him, the people who've made, us be able to build what we built for the last 10 years, because we keep seeing people like him constantly growing, wow. And it's also going to be at the summit, so we can dive right into the summit. Yes.
It's a great feat. October 15th to 17th. It's 3 days. Literally, it's 3 days, 9 hours, 28 minutes, and 41 seconds away. And it seems like it's something you've been planning. I mean, you're celebrating 10 years as Red Media. You and your team have done. I mean, you today, the whole gang, evolving from the awards, that's Future Awards, to Red Media, to Why Niger, and all the other different platforms you have. Did you think you'll be doing this at 10 years?
When we started, we had a 20-year vision, actually. So yes, we didn't specifically see 10, but we saw 20. So we haven't even gotten to where we're going yet.
Still a lot to do. And judging by the duration of this summit, what do you intend to? I mean, I had some of your team members last week, but I'm asking you, the vision is instilled in you, you are seeing it materialize. What is the one thing you want people to take away from this summit? So
the summit in itself, it's a theoretical, it's exploring the theoretical framework of the media, with emphasis on messaging, on patterns, and the constant evolution of the space. That's what it is. The real crux is the constant evolution of the media space. The media is constant in a state of flux. It's constantly changing, so we're going to be exploring the different phases, future, present, past, that we've gone through. And then trying to find that fine line that then determines where are we going next. Many times the African continent is plagued with lack of analysis. With not being able to project.
Our own story,
to be able to determine, what will happen in the next 5 years, the next 12 months, the next 2 years. So many times you have all of this funding that comes in sometimes, and people don't even know what it's for. People don't even know what to do with it. People don't even know how to spend, where not to spend, and all of those things. So the idea of the summit is to be able to define, what is the future of African media. So we're going to be exploring the several phases that we've been through. So something like the falls debate of old and new media. We hear that there's an old media, and there's a new media. But sometimes we're asking ourselves, is it false? Is it real? Is there really a paradigm, intervention? Or is it just some professionals who've created something for themselves so that they can dominate a particular space? So of course I know the truth, but those are things to explore. As communication change, is communication still the same thing? Do you still have to communicate to people using the same tools? Maybe the difference now is pop culture, whereby even though you want to communicate, like you would have communicated in 60 seconds, now you might have to communicate in 15 seconds, because there's a marriage of pop culture and communication.
Or even 100 characters.
Or even 140 characters. Do you understand? So those are the things we need to explore. Now, how do we marry these things? And what are the cardinal rules? What are the things that don't change?
Well, communication in this day and age is literally at the speed of a click. You can disseminate information which could be right or wrong, that could lead to positive or negative.
Absolutely.
the gatekeepers traditionally of information from print has always been the editors, even TV.
Now the power is in your hands.
And now the power is in your hand. And I'm looking at a cross-section of some of the speakers, some young, some not so young, some up there. And the fact that you're bringing about the School of Media and Communication, I mean, I'm seeing Dr. Obiaya, the Dean of the School of Media and Communication. I'm seeing Beodusha Banjo.
Yeah, Dr. Obiaya will be doing the opening speech, you know, and he'll be setting the tone for these theoretical frameworks I talked about, you know, exploring, you know, these patterns, this messaging, you know, and this constant evolution. Beodusha Banjo, I'm particularly excited. You know, I was with him last week, you know, and did a post. I said I was awe-inspired. You know, sitting with this man, 40 years in the industry.
It's a long time.
40 years, and he's constantly ahead of the curve. 40 years of understanding the space. 40 years of seeing the flux and constantly coming up with innovation. And the biggest cross of every media business in Nigeria, profitability. He's been able to build several media businesses, built #1 media businesses in the different fields, from PR to advertising to media buying. #1, and profitable at the same time.
Even branch out to other areas like security.
You know, so what is in this man's head? What are the key things he's done that our generation needs to do? So whilst they're doing quick, short, sharp, and simple, what are the things that makes you stay for that long time? What are the things that make you an authority? I was talking to someone last week about the summit, and we're talking about pop culture, you know, which I call pop communication sometimes. And you know, you have a situation whereby brands can decide to just take Don Jazzy, take Toke Makinwa, and all of those influencers and say, you know what, come and tweet for us, come and communicate our brands for us, you know. But what happens when they run into a crisis?